Give my mom a credit. She'll clean your toilet, shouted the alien child. Then a human said, yes, the trading district of Delta, 7 Colony, was always loud, but today's noise had a sharper edge. Merchants haggled, miners bellowed for tools, and hungry children darted through the crowd with outstretched hands. Among them, a small voice cut above the din. Give my mom a credit. She'll clean your toilet. Heads turned. The words were shrill, desperate, almost comical. But the source wasn't. The child was thin, ribbed skin stretched taut over fragile bones, pale blue like a faded sky. His 4 eyes blinked rapidly as he clutched at sleeves, trousers, skirts. Anyone who would listen. His tunic was ragged, torn at the hem. Behind him, an alien woman hunched against a wall, her long limbs folded in on themselves. Shame radiated from her posture as she tried to appear invisible. Most colonists walked faster. Some sneered. Others tossed a boot at the boy to scare him off. The child didn't stop. He repeated his strange sales pitch like a broken recording. 1 credit. My mom cleans your toilet. She's strong. She works fast. Please, 1 credit. That was when John Carver heard him. John was an off-duty mechanic, broad-shouldered, his coveralls stained with grease. He had come to the market for spare filters, not a heart-wrenching scene. Yet something in the boy's voice pierced him. He remembered, unbidden, the days after the siege of Titan, when he himself had begged for scraps as a war orphan. He stopped. The boy noticed instantly and darted forward, clinging to John's sleeve. Sir, please, just a credit. We can't go back to the barracks tonight if we don't pay. The overseers will lock us out. My mom, she'll work. Anything, even toilets. John looked over the child's head, toward the woman. She raised her gaze reluctantly. Her eyes, 2 large orbs with rings of faint gold, held no plea, only resigned despair. She did not beg. She only waited for him to shake off her son and leave like everyone else. Instead, John crouched down to the boy's level. What's your name, kid? The boy blinked all 4 eyes. Tavi, sir. And your mom? Her name's Shira. She used to be something important, I think. But now, his small shoulders lifted. Now we just need credits. Please. John stood slowly. His mind worked fast. Most humans avoided alien refugees, especially the displaced Marins, like these 2. The war had ruined their worlds and scattered them across colonies, where they were seen as beggars, thieves, or worse. Offering them work was risky. Many colonists thought they were disease-ridden or cursed. But John saw the way the boy's hands trembled from hunger. He saw the quiet dignity Shira tried to keep, even as she sat against a cracked wall with nothing. And he remembered what it felt like to be dismissed as worthless. All right, John said finally. I'll give you credit. Tavi's eyes widened. But not just that, John continued. I've got a workshop. Engines, tools, and yeah, dirty toilets too. If your mom's willing, she can clean there, and you can both get a meal. The boy let out a squeal that was almost a sob. He grabbed John's hand with startling strength. Yes, she'll do it. Mom. He said yes. Shira rose slowly, tall and graceful despite her worn clothes. Her voice, when she spoke, was soft but steady. We will work human. Payment is your choice. Thank you. The workshop. John led them across the colony's industrial zone to his modest workshop, a cluttered space filled with half-repaired mining crawlers and spare parts stacked to the ceiling. Here it is, he said. Not fancy, but it's honest. Shira moved wordlessly to the small sanitation cubicle in the back. Without hesitation, she knelt, rolled up the remains of her sleeves, and began scrubbing with the precision of someone who had once done far greater tasks. Tavi followed John, wide-eyed, touching tools and whispering questions. What's this one for? That's a torque driver. And that? Fuel regulator. John found himself smiling despite the grime. The boy's curiosity reminded him of himself at that age. When Shira finished, the cubicle gleamed more than it had in months. John handed her 2 credits instead of 1. You've earned it. She bowed slightly, eyes lowered. It is enough. Not nearly, John muttered. He rummaged through a storage locker and pulled out ration packs. Here, dinner for tonight. Both of you. Tavi gasped at the sight, clutching the food like treasure. Shira hesitated, then accepted with quiet gratitude. More than toilets. 1 job became 2, then 3. Every few days, Shira returned to the workshop with Tavi. She mopped floors, organized scrap, polished metal until it shone. She never complained, never asked for more, but John kept giving extra food, blankets. Sometimes a few more credits slipped quietly into her hand. Tavi, meanwhile, became John's shadow. He fetched tools, asked endless questions, even tried to lift heavy parts until John laughed and told him to wait until he grew taller. One evening, as Shira was wiping down a crawler's plating, John finally asked, You weren't always cleaning toilets, were you? She froze, cloth in hand. Slowly, she shook her head. I was a scientist. Energy systems, propulsion design. Before the war took our stations. John stared at her. A propulsion scientist scrubbing toilets. It made him angry, not at her, but at a universe that wasted lives so cruelly. You know, engines, he said carefully. Yes. Then tomorrow, don't bring the mop. Bring your mind. I could use another mechanic. Shira's eyes widened. For the first time, something like hope flickered there. The turning point. The next week, Shira surprised him with how quickly she adapted. Her long fingers traced circuits. Her memory recalled equations. And soon she was repairing power couplings faster than John himself. Customers noticed. When miners came for crawler repairs, they found not only John but also a quiet alien woman who worked with unmatched precision. At first, they muttered, distrustful, but when her fixes held, when their machines ran smoother than before, word spread. Business doubled. And yet, trouble came too. One afternoon, a pair of colonist enforcers stormed into the workshop. Carver, one barked, We heard you're hiring illegals. John wiped his hands on a rag. I'm hiring workers. Good ones. She's Marin scum. The other sneered, pointing at Shira. They're not allowed permits here. You'll get fined or worse. John's jaw tightened. Tavi clung to his mother's leg, eyes wide with fear. Then fine me, John said coldly, because I'm not throwing out the best damn mechanic in Delta 7. The enforcers cursed, threatened, but finally left. When the door shut, silence hung heavy. Shira looked at John, disbelief and something deeper in her gaze. Why? She whispered. Because someone once gave me a chance when I had nothing, John said simply, and because you and Tavi deserve better than the gutter. A new beginning. Months passed. The workshop thrived. Shira became John's partner in truth, if not yet in law. Her name etched beside us on repair slips. Tavi grew stronger, his laughter filling the one silent shop. One evening, as they shared a meal of fresh stew instead of ration packs, Tavi grinned at John. Remember the first day, when I shouted about toilets? John chuckled. Hard to forget.